today is day number 3 of Puzzle Week. Or I guess this is event number 3. Yesterday was event number 2, where I strived to get my all-time high for 5-minute puzzle rush. And I was able to do it after a few hours of grinding the 5-minute puzzle rush, got to 54, beating my previous all-time high of 53. But today, the challenge is within Puzzle Rush Survival, where basically I have unlimited time on each puzzle, except there's a deadline of 24 hours. I think starting at midnight last night. So we basically have until midnight Easter time tonight. I'm on Central Time. I also have dinner plans in a couple hours, so I don't know how far I'll get, but my top score ever in survival mode was 70, so I'll try and beat that. I like how there's a countdown, but there's not going to be any timer, so yeah, there's no rush. A lot of the early ones are going to be easy. It's just like Puzzle Rush, where yeah, the early ones will be made in one. I know a lot of people like ask how I can solve the early ones so quickly. And a lot of it is just like pattern recognition, identifying where the opponent's king is, and then finding the obvious check, or in this case, checkmate. There's other ones with winning material. Like this is a free knight. So yeah, the 70 that I got was a few years ago. I think also during one of the Puzzle Week events. I'm pretty sure I got 70. It was a week where like we teamed up. I was teaming up with Tatev Abrahamian, and we were working together to try and beat Hikaru and Levy, but that was kind of impossible. Yeah, another maiden one. So I'm not going to take too long on these, but I imagine most people can find these like pretty quickly. Again, really just identifying the opponent's king will usually lead you to the solution. Okay, so this one's made in 2. Generally, you shouldn't play the first move until you see the whole variation. So King F8, Queen F7. This one is also made in 2. Here, there's a few viable checks, but yeah, this is just mate. This one, we have a choice between Queen H2 and Queen H1. Maybe some people wouldn't see the difference. But yeah, Queen H2. How to avoid cheaters in these kind of game modes. Yeah, unfortunately, there's I don't think there's any enforcement. Like it's kind of just the honor system. When the problems get tougher, I'm not going to be looking at chat. Like I'll follow the honor system, even though yeah, it'll be a little bit less interactive. But it's probably the proper way to go. So for anyone that does like Puzzle Rush or Puzzle Survival, you should really just use your own brain. There's really no benefit to using an engine to look up the problems. And if anyone's like using an engine and then sharing engine moves in chat, that's a bannable offense. But thankfully, I don't think really anyone has done that before, at least in my chat. This is made in 2. This is made in 1. Made in 1. I think by the time I get to like mid 40s, that's where it will get a bit tougher for me. Thank you, Arch. Happy 5 months. Okay, this one isn't, or is it mate? This one, there's a few branches. So bishop takes f7, king f8. There's queen h6 checkmate. But bishop takes, there's king f7, or king d7. And then queen g4, king d6, and then knight e4 is checkmate. That's a nice mate. Queen controls this diagonal, bishop controls d5, knight controls c5. Yeah, let's go for that. Okay, didn't quite get to play that out there. Oh, is there a setting to... I'm just realizing on Lichess there's a setting so it doesn't automatically go to the next puzzle. I might want that for later. But maybe... maybe if I want to go back, I can always analyze. I'll open a new tab. And then I can show just a line of like here, here. Okay, I'm clearly... I clearly don't do enough puzzles to understand how these features work. Analysis, probably analysis. And it takes us to this tab. And then I can analyze. Okay. So this is a mate that I was calculating. Okay. Anyway, so I might do this for later puzzles. But let's go back. I'm at 17 right now. Still less than 10 minutes into the stream, so good pace. This is a checkmate instantly. This is force mate. Rook takes. If pawn takes its mate. It's very important to spot the bishop here. I think when some players maybe first look at the position, they'll look at the quadrants, but it's good to kind of see the big picture, see what pieces can help influence the attack. We'll take... There's a question from RDPXI. Have you seen the book Imagination in Chess by Gabrindashvili? Yeah, this is actually one of my favorite books. I've mentioned it in podcast interviews. I think my first interview on Perpetual Chess Podcast, I mentioned it. It's actually one of the books that helped me go from FM to IM. It has a lot of like very, very difficult puzzles. It's probably recommended for players that are at least 2,000 plus. 2,000 plus FIDE, I should note. Okay, so this is looking... I mean, rook d2 is really the only obvious move. But the follow-up, wherever the king goes, the queen will come in. And yeah, there's no counterplay for white. There's really no defense for white. Queen h3. Okay, rook e2. Sometimes the puzzles will have like weird spite checks. Just have to go along with. So pawn takes on g4. There's sometimes where you can use process of elimination. Like none of these moves make sense. Like the only move that makes sense is this. But then to calculate, there's takes and then here and then here and then here and then push. But white's going to be quicker. Like once e4 is played, the pawn will get to h6. Black's king will be on e3. And then we'll queen and yeah, black's not queening back. Black's going for this pawn. But yeah, pretty simple at 21. So now it's a weird position. You're definitely not trying to checkmate. Like sometimes the first step to solving puzzles is identifying the theme. And here it's probably just a matter of winning material. Material is currently equal. Both queens are hanging. But after takes, we can just take back and white will be up a bishop. Simple enough. Wow. Bishop b5. I was expecting the puzzle to end. But it is interesting here. The only move that doesn't lose back material for white is to take the bishop. There's no way to defend. If we move back this way, the rook hangs. So we'll take. Now this one, there's a few things attacked. But yeah, some puzzles will have, I guess, what we can call red herrings, where there's a move that looks obvious, like we can take a queen. But then you have to kind of take a step back and realize after king takes, white only has a queen for two rooks, bishop, and knight. So this is checkmate in 1 because the queen is pinned, so it can't block. Okay, this one we have a couple options. If we move to h2, the king will run, but we move to h1. Simple enough. I hope this is instructive for some players. I'm definitely going through at a slower pace than usual. But yeah, for this one, again, it's about winning material. And the only obvious capture is this, and then we can see that after takes, there's a fork, d4, which will win. I guess the line keeps going, actually. d4, queen, f3. We take the knight. White takes here, attacking this and this. And it's actually necessary to see bishop d7, blocking the check and defending the rook. Okay, white doesn't go for that, so just take. Oh, please no. Is it going to ruin my score? Oops, looks like there was an error. Please refresh. I'm scared. What if I just exit this? We have mate in one. Wait, what should I do? Should I refresh or should I try and play the move? It should be saved. It should be saved, right? Let's try to play. I mean, it's obviously checkmate. That's weird. Can I just exit out of this window? What is this? I don't see what the error was. Maybe the error message was the error itself. Like there is no additional error apart from that message popping up. Okay, hopefully it's okay. Rook h4 is a check. King moves here, it's mate. So let's do that. Okay, staying clean. Looks like things are working properly. Now here, yeah, there's a lot to take in because knight takes e2 looks like an easy fork, but it's not that easy because then white takes on h8. And a big part of solving slightly more difficult puzzles is identifying what the opposite or opposing side can do, and really identifying the best move for the opponent. So here, pretty sure it's takes, and then check, and then we can win the knight. And that's very forcing. Yeah. Okay, moving on. This is all about destroying the black king. Looks like this is mate in two. We'll start with this. King will have to move back, and then knight is pinned so we can deliver mate with a rook. So here, yeah, there's a couple like kind of typical tactical ideas.
Just watch
Also, thank you, Cake June.
Vid. It's amazing there are new openings becoming trendy in 2024.
Yeah. Maybe not the most sound of openings, but it's Alien Gambit. There's whatever Dubov and Nepo created. Who knows what other openings might be discovered this year. Anyway, okay, so the point I want to make here is that there's this move, but then there's also ideas of trying to exploit the fact that we're pinning the knight and maybe takes or takes first. So the first thing to address is if we play this, attacking the king and the bishop, white can just block the check and defend the bishop. So now it's a question, do we take the knight first or the bishop first? And it's really just a matter of calculating. If we take the bishop first, then takes, and then takes, and then takes, and black doesn't win anything. Like we gave away queen and bishop, we won queen and bishop. But if we take the knight first, we win the knight, we lose a queen, we win the queen, we lose our bishop, we win back this bishop. In the end, black's up a minor piece because we won the knight in the process. So key move. Yeah, no other issues, I don't think. In this case, yeah, we just take the bishop and we can take back. White does have queen f7, but then queen e7 will trade queens. Okay, got to 30. This is what's the theme of this? This is like an endgame pawn promotion puzzle. We want to promote a pawn. C2 doesn't work because bishop takes, so we're gonna remove the guard, and then these pawns are too powerful. Promote to a queen. Here it is a mating net. We'll check, move in. I think we call this a hook mate. Yeah, there's no defense for black. Here, I'm actually trying to identify like what color I am. If I'm black, white just played this. But the king is really close to getting mated, but so is white's king. This actually just looks like maiden too. We have the battery. We can play this move, forcing the king here, and then checkmate. Okay, moving on. This is probably another one where we want to somehow checkmate the king. There's a few moves here. Like the two candidate moves are queen e4 and knight f3. If we play queen e4 first, there's king d1, queen f3, king e1, and I'm not seeing a follow-up. And basically, black has to keep checking. Otherwise, like we don't want to be playing slowly, leaving the rook or knight hanging. So let's look at this other line. Knight f3. If the king moves here, it's checkmate. King moves to e2. We play knight d4. Queen takes d4 will be up enough material. Here, here, here. If king d3, at the very least, we should take the rook and be good. King e3, also good. And then if here, 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 if the king moves back, then we're going to check and then checkmate on e2 after king d1. Yeah, let's go for this. Okay, white sacks a queen. Okay. Hopefully that one made sense. Okay, moving on. This one looks like another force mate. I mean, moves that came to mind were this or this, but they don't work because white has the bishop to defend. So it looks like it's rook e1. And then the queen will come in to e2 or e1. Yeah, queen e2, bishop f2 only legal move, and then queen f1 is checkmate. Okay, this one. This one, the answer isn't obvious right away. Like I'm actually starting by counting material. Material's in balance. We have rook and pawn for knight and bishop, it looks like. No obvious mates against a king. No obvious captures. I mean, this is a case where we just want to look for any concrete variations, like queen g3 is the first move that comes to mind. But then king g1. There's also the move rook e8. Like this doesn't seem to accomplish much. But the move rook e8, it does have a clear threat. And sometimes in these sort of positions, you just want to look for moves that will threaten. In this case, rook e8 threatens checkmate in 2. And then we have to ask, does white have any defense? Like queen e3 doesn't work. This bishop can't develop. The rook can't control the first rank quickly enough. I mean, bishop f1 is a try, but then rook e1 will fork the bishops. So I think it's just rook e8. It's like a quiet but deadly move. Yeah, let's go for it. And yeah, king g1 I didn't address, but this still allows the fork on the first rank. Okay. I'm a little bit confused about this one. I mean, there's two legal moves. Obviously, we should take the rook. And then I guess the knight is trapped. Almost. We have to figure out, okay, how to actually win the knight. There's also this move, too. Ooh. Maybe this is simplest. Yeah, the knight is kind of a red herring. Because if we play this, then there's bishop here. Some counter tactics. But if we play this, it's pretty clean. Yeah, take the bishop. Okay. This looks like a fork. I guess if we take the bishop first, the knight will save itself. So b4 and bishop d4 attacking the rook, we can take the bishop. If ever takes, we take back. Let's go for b4. Keep the fork and take the knight. So this one, yeah, when I first saw this position, I was inclined to like look at the king side, but pretty quickly I realized this bishop is short on squares. I think we just simply trap the bishop. Pawn c3. I don't see any way for Lac to save it. Okay, this position. I mean, the first move that comes to mind is pawn d5. I mean, we really want to exploit the king. And it's a little bit hard with this pawn formation to crack the position. Like, taking doesn't work. And a move like pawn d5, it does create a threat. I mean, it's basically a fork. Because the pawn's pinned. And the pawn is attacked 3 times. The bishop's attacked. And let's imagine here we take, and again, it's kind of a fork. That looks good. Thank you, Sindara, with the first time prime. Oh, is chess.com down? See the comment from Jonade. Chess.com not working for anyone else. Maybe that's what the error message was. I don't want to move tabs or even like poke around. Don't want to lose my streak. Sometimes there's server outages. Thank you, Chris Chusi Cora, for the bits. Yeah, I'm going to go for d5 here. I guess I didn't address this move, but then c5 would leave both bishops attacked. I guess the other move to address is bishop takes f6, after which I can attack the queen, and then later take the bishop, which we do see. So let's take, if bishop here, I take the queen with check. And then here, yeah, even though the king gets a little bit weak, black will be up a bishop. So, 40 points, a streak of 40. Do you have to pay to play these puzzles? I don't have to pay. I get a free diamond account because I'm a title player. But you do need to have a chess.com premium membership to do, I guess, to get unlimited access. I'm not sure exactly how it works, actually. And for a lot of players, if you're like serious about chess, a premium membership is worth it, just with the access to all the video content. I wouldn't recommend getting it just for the puzzles, though. But if you have a premium membership, you should have access. So we have a king pawn ending. I mean, the obvious move looks to be this. And then this. And we should calculate, like, okay, takes. Then there's a choice. Can take here or defend the pawns. Wait a minute. Takes. Take. Say move here, push. Black's not winning there. I mean, first of all, we have to take. There's no other logical move. Like b5 doesn't do anything. King b4 doesn't make sense. Let's take. And king c5. Actually, a little bit confused here. Take is losing for black. Because king here, push. Yeah, white's quicker. If we played this, that's also losing because take. So I think we have to play king c5, but then king b7. What am I missing? Might be missing something. King c5, king b7. Do we have b5, a5, b4? Ah. Oh, is black gonna win? King c5, king b7, b5. Because a5, white's gonna queen first. But then black queens with check. And then all black needs to do is force a queen trade. If the king moves to this file, we check, trade queens, and win the pawn. And if white moves back to c7, there's this check, forcing the king here, and then check, trade queens, and again we win the pawn. If the king moves to c8, I guess we have queen f5 check. And that should also lead to the queen trade. Like king here, and then we take and win the... Or take, trade queens, and then win the endgame. So yeah, I think it's this. And then b5. And if takes, then we're going to just win the pawn. Here we go. And yeah, queen f5 is, I guess, is the only move if the puzzle keeps going. Because we have to check the king to keep initiative. And then, yeah, then it's winning. Okay. 41. What to do here? There's a few candidate moves. Queen e3 and queen takes a3. I kind of like the idea of queen e3 first to provoke the rook over. The thing is, the queen still defends g1. Ah, so okay, queen e3. If king moves here, it's instantly mate. Rook has to block on d2, and then we take, and then king d1, and then rook b1. King goes here, and this pawn is very crucial because then we have queen f3 checkmates. So check, and then check, and then check, and then checkmate. Oh, this is a funny position. I've had this, I feel like I've had this in a game once. Maybe a similar type of opening. Yeah, this is a classic opening trap. We take, we check, not king h5, but queen h5. And then assuming g6, we check and win the rook. Okay. Move on. This one, there's a lot of central tension. I mean, this looks like a free pawn. Yeah, everything else is defended. Like if we take, white just takes back with either knight. If we take this pawn, queen d3, I wonder if the puzzle will keep going. I really don't see any other option. Oh, I probably should have identified that. Okay, this is kind of tricky. Because if we take, then bishop takes. Wait, if we move here, I guess there's knight d5. Yeah, I think black has to take and realize that we're not losing the queen, even though we're checked and the queen's undefended. So we have king d8, getting out of check, saving the queen, and white will just be up a knight because we win the knight on c7. Yeah, no good follow up for white. Okay, 44. It only gets tougher from here. I mean, this actually looks pretty easy though. The queen is pretty much trapped. This is rook c5, but we just take. Yeah, let's trap the queen and take. Oh, it keeps going. I guess here, yeah, if queen c6, there is queen e7, which would win the bishop. So, I mean, there's only two legal moves, but king b8, even though it looks a little bit scary for the king, I don't see any follow-up for white. Okay, this looks like... Gee, what is this? Feels close to force mate. Take. And then here. Ah, yeah. So take and then here and then take. If bishop takes, it's mate. If queen takes, queen f6 is mate. Just a matter of looking at the forcing checks. Yeah, queen g8. It's important not to play queen f8 because this bishop... Okay, this is mate in 3. Yeah, again, just a matter of looking at the checks. I guess there is knight a2. Maybe some players would go down the wrong rabbit hole, knight here and then check and then here. But if we start with this, then here, and then this, and then here, then it's mate. Okay, this one looks like, it looks easy, we skewer, but the question is which rook? This one I can give to Twitch chat. Rook f8 or rook h8? We're doing a 1-minute poll. I'm not considering this cheating because I know the solution. I just want to see how strong the viewers are today, or how sharp the viewers are. A lot of people saying F in chat. I was briefly scared that the stream died, but maybe referring to rook f8. Okay, 84%, 81% and 19% ish. Can show the poll here. 12 votes for rook h8. Now 60 votes for rook f8. So I guess for the few people that say rook h8, it looks good, but the problem is after rook e8 takes, we're not actually winning anything. Rook f8 doesn't work. So good job to most of the people who are saying rook f8, because now this rook is far enough away to actually check the king and win the rook in the end. Always alphabetical order. Yeah, maybe sometimes alphabetical order. That's probably not the best rule to live by, though. You should only sometimes follow the arbitrary rules. Okay. What's happening here? We have a bishop attacked. I'm counting material. White's down the exchange for a pawn. So it looks like it's a matter of hunting down the king. I mean, the only logical check is queen e6. There's a few lines to look at, like king f8 gets mated instantly. So it's really a question after king h8 or king h7. Like king h7, we take the pawn with check. If king h8, again, it looks like we'll have a pleasant choice. Yeah, I mean, I don't see any other logical moves apart from this. I guess I should at least be confident in the follow-up, like king h7. Am I sure that's winning? And then king h8. Yeah, because knight f8, yeah, that'll be crushing. So queen e6, king h8. Again, there's a couple of branches, knight f7 or knight takes g6. Knight takes g6, king h7. I'll probably end up just going for it. The line I'm looking at is queen here, knight takes, king h7. And then rather than moving the bishop, there's this move knight e7, which threatens queen g6. So if takes, we play queen g6, king h8, queen h5, bishop here, and then it's checkmate. The knight obstructs the queen from covering h7. Let's go for this. And we do see king h8, so yeah, knight takes g6, again, looks logical. Knight f7 I don't think leads to much. But I do have to be like extra certain about this move. I was looking at this from a distance. Now we're in this position. Knight e7. I mean, we're threatening this or this, both coming with check. Moving the bishop seems a little bit too slow. Like, even if bishop e7 looks good, but white's not having a clear follow-up, and I mean, black probably has queen c6 there. So we play this, we're preventing rook or queen c6. I guess there's queen b6, preventing queen g6 check, but then we have queen takes f5 check. Yeah, let's go for this. Okay, it's a good sign that I'm predicting black's moves. Now takes. Looks good. Okay. This is weird. Like, that one was probably the most difficult one yet. And this one is one of like the easier ones. So the problems probably don't actually get like harder in consecutive fashion. I mean, they do get harder over over several iterations, but yeah, this one is just checkmate in 2. There's a couple ideas here. I guess the thing to realize is if this move, then white has queen g1, which might be overlooked when you're doing puzzle rush, just moving quickly. But with this move, yeah, the pawn is pinned, queen can't be taken. This is checkmate. But these numbers refer to the puzzle rating. So maybe that last one is like missed a lot. But this one, I mean, this one's made in 2 as well, I think. Or no, it's not. There's b5. Yeah, these can be tricky when like the king is open. There's a lot of different checks to consider. And then we kind of have to identify which branch is worth going down. Like every move is kind of a different branch. Oh, this okay. So this is made in 3. It took me a moment there. Bishop a4. If king here, queen b5 is mate. b5 is the best try. And after takes, king d6, we just move back. And then the bishop's controlling c6. And that'll be mate. Okay, so far so good. 51. I need 20 more. It will get more difficult. I mean, this one looks a little bit tricky. This one, oh, this one might be an oh no my queen. Pretty sure this one involves a nice queen sack. So yeah, there's maybe a couple of things to look for. In black's down material, we had lost our rook. I guess we're down the exchange, but it's more about exploiting the king. Queen e3 was the first move that came to mind, which almost looks crushing, but it allows the knight to take on e4. So there's another move here, f3, which threatens mate in 1. I think we can play f3 and say, oh no, my queen, and then checkmate with the pawn. There's also queen takes d4, so the queen d4 is also met with knight takes e4. And with f3, if white takes it, the bishop has been unleashed. And again, it's force mate. Let's do it. Oh no, my queen. White doesn't take it, but oh no, white's king. Okay, that was a nice one. Oh, this one's a nice pattern. Yeah, of course, we want to exploit the king because our king is about to get crushed if we don't act quickly. Oh, there's a question from that last one. What if e3? I can briefly address that. I think e3 still would have been mate. Yeah, analysis. So if e3, oops. Oh, after rook c1, if f3, e3, we still play f2. King has to move here and then checkmate. So f3 might be force mate. Is it force mate? Yeah, there's no defense. Queen c2, there's takes and then knight f2 checkmate. So white just cannot stop mate after f3, surprisingly. Speaking of forced mates, this one is another queen sacrifice. A matter of using these pieces. And yeah, queen f2, not the first move that might come to mind, but takes advantage of the fact that we control f1 with the bishop. Checkmate. Moving on. This one is probably also a mating net. White has the bishop pair. We have to exploit the king. Rook d3 is the obvious move. But then king f4. And then it's easy for the king to slip away. Like rook here, king here. This one might involve a quiet move. Let me take a moment here. Rook d3, king f4. Rook f2 doesn't work. I mean, there's a lot of checks to consider. I mean, there's also this move to consider. And it's probably king f6. I'm going to start with rook d3. There's really no other move to consider. And yeah, the key thing here is the king wants to slip away via e5 or taking on f5. And these checks, like it's easy to maybe go down the wrong rabbit hole. But yeah, it's important to understand here that the best approach is just restricting the king first. Threatening mate in 1 will be threatening this checkmate or this checkmate. And white has no defense. Like bishop takes e4, it's still mate. Bishop g7, bishop g5, we just take it with a rook. And we're still threatening 2 different mates. I take with rook. Yeah, we don't take the bishop because then white's alive, but we checkmate. Nice one. What do we have here? So this one, there's like an obvious move. If this were a puzzle rush, I imagine I would play this move really quickly. Rook takes b5. Idea being takes and then fork. White should be winning. The problem is if we take the knight, there's rook e1. In between move. Black will take back and then black is probably winning. So I think it's very important to identify that and then identify other moves. And the move d5, another move to consider, because if takes, we take, we win the clean piece. And the king stays defending the knight. Then we take with check. There's no time for rook e1. And then we'll get our fork in. Yeah. This is what we call, before I move on to the next one, I think this is called reciprocal thinking, where you have an idea, it doesn't work for some reason. It didn't work because rook e1. So we had to play like a kind of, what do we call this, in-between move, auxiliary move, to actually make our original idea work. This concept is outlined in the book Imagination in Chess. And okay, let's take the rook. Moving on. Wild position here. Looks like a free queen, but it's probably not that easy because black's going to have some either bishop b4 or pawn takes pawn. I think we have to take the queen and then figure out what to do from there. So, I mean, I'm going to try and calculate before playing the first move. First, I'm counting material. White will be up a queen for 2 minor pieces. So I guess if we take the queen and black takes here, we can't take back because then we lose our queen. But after takes here, we have queen c7. Saving our queen so it's not aligned with a rook, and then we'll take back. I think the same case is for bishop b4. We also have queen c7 check. I don't think our queen is getting trapped there. Like, we'll have this diagonal or this diagonal. Let's go for it. Yeah, there's no other move. Like, bishop takes b2, maybe some players would walk into not realizing this. But queen c7 first. And then we take back. Okay. Got to 56. Yeah, these are getting more difficult. Rook c2, I think, is an obvious first move. Like, I actually don't see any other sensible checks. Like, I guess queen e7 to trade queens, but the ending doesn't look to be winning. Hey, Angelica Chessborn, thanks for the raid. Yeah, if you're just joining, I'm doing Puzzle Rush Survival mode. I started about 50 minutes ago. I'm at 56. I'm trying to beat my all-time best. Shout out to Angelica. Hope you had a good stream. We're getting to the puzzles that are a little bit more difficult. I've been trying to explain every puzzle, explain my thought process with every puzzle, so it's maybe taking me a little bit longer than usual to work through these. So for this one, yeah, rook c2 is almost certainly the first move. And sometimes when you're doing like the 3 or 5 minute puzzle rush, you just want to play this move first and then figure things out later. I'll try and calculate here. King e3, queen d2, king e4. I'm just realizing it might be relevant. It's probably not relevant if black can castle, but we don't actually know if black has castling rights. Usually with puzzles, you should assume that castling is possible, but that could come up in certain lines. Anyway, okay, rook c2, queen d2, king e4 is very forcing. And then there's either queen e2 or rook c4 to consider. Rook c4 looks more attractive. Rook c4. I mean, it can branch out pretty quickly. Let's clean up the arrows. Here, 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 here. I didn't really clean up the arrows. And then the king has these three, or it doesn't have d5, but it has e5 or f5. After either move, probably queen f4, king d5. If we force the king to d5, we can take on f3, winning the white king, or white queen. And if the king moves to e6, king e6. So basically, our queen would be on f4, our rook would be on c4, white's king would be on e6. I mean, it should be winning somehow. Queen h6 check. But then king d5. Is it not queen f4? I'm going to start with these moves because this has to be the start. Like again here, I guess there is queen g5 as well. Queen d2. Queen d2, king e4. Yeah, there might be some stretches where I'm just thinking quietly. Queen e4, or king e4, rook c4, king f5, or king e5, queen f4, king e6, queen h6, king d5. Queen g5 doesn't seem right because it would allow f4, queen here, and then queen blocks. Yeah, it's got to be queen d2. So I'm kind of taking advantage of process of elimination. And rook c4 also. Rook c4. I wonder if we're going to have like queen e2 instead. It depends where the king goes though. Starting with rook c4. Oops. Wait a minute. Does not end my streak? That was irresponsible of me to miss that one. Oh, I get 3 strikes. I thought only I get 0 strikes. It's not Lichess. Ah, I didn't know that. I feel like I should have known that. Ah, okay. Well, that's, I guess, a good thing. Oh man. Yeah, I played the move without being 100% sure. So let's re-examine this. Is it really queen e2? That's crazy if rook c4 is just not winning. I was relying on some intuition there. I guess with queen e2, the king can't go here, can't go here. If it moves to f5, yeah, we have rook f8. If it moves to d4, then we have rook c4. Okay, this is actually... It's helpful to know that rook c4 doesn't work. But all the lines work out here. King moves here, rook f8, and then once we get the other rook in, king will eventually be mated. And then otherwise, I guess there's bishop e3. But bishop e3, rook c4, the bishop's pinned. Moves here, we take with check. Moves here, we again have this check. Okay. Yeah, now rook c4. Now we take with check. Okay. Okay. Well, this is good to know that we have some strikes to work with. I guess it's the same way, or the same concept with like the standard puzzle rush. But yeah, the puzzles are getting more difficult. If I queen, black will queen, but then it's just mating queen here. Why does this feel so easy? Here. I don't understand this one. Also, we have to queen. Like, there's no other consideration here. The black's about to queen. Yeah, bishop g3. I saw this move. We just take and then we're threatening mate. No stalemate tricks. Oh. Okay, this move I didn't see. This is actually surprising because if the puzzle keeps going, it means there's only one winning move here. It seems like there's a lot of candidate moves. This looks like the most intuitive. Oh, but then... Yeah, black's ready to queen and defend, so... attacking the pawn might not be the right option. Okay, now I'm understanding why this one is on more difficult side. It's one of these cases I'm not looking at chat until I make my move. So what's the idea? Queen's guarding this. This queen will guard this. We would like to access the back rank, but this just allows a trade. But supposedly there is one idea here. I mean, this will also threaten some checks, so we can't be too slow. Like I was thinking this, but yeah, that's way too slow. With two queens, I like really have to look at the board geometry. It's so easy to have blind spots. Queen b8, no. Oh, we have queen e5. Wow, it took me a long time to see this. We just cut off the diagonal, and then we're threatening mate. No other move. Or no defense for black. Okay. How many people found queen e5 before me? At least a few people in chat. Okay. Good job to everyone who spotted that move. It just wasn't the first move that came to mind. Okay, this one looks like another king hunt. And we have h5 and queen g4. Also, I have to go in 40 minutes, so at some point I might have to start guessing on some of these. Or at least make some educated guesses. Queen g4, king f6, queen g5. So what's material? Material's equal here, weirdly enough. Queen g5, king e6, we take the knight. We lose our knight, we have rook d1. So this one might not be mating, but it might just be winning the rook in the end. I like the prospect of this. If king e5 we develop with check. Oh, that's another branch. But that looks good because Yeah, here, we take the rook with check. This rook's ready to come in. I don't see anything else this could be. Queen g5. I mean, there's knight e4, but then the king runs back. Knight's defended too. And then queen takes f5. Yeah, I don't think we want to take this and allow black to get initiative. And rook d1. I guess I didn't quite look at king e7. Our queen is still attacked. Okay, rook d1 comes with check, king e7. Queen g5, there's queen f6. Queen c5, king e8. Ah, so rook d1, king e7, queen c5, king e8, queen e3, ensuring that bishop can't block, it's not defended, and then we're going to win the rook. Check. Okay. Okay, got to 58. It's a long calculation there. If you leave, it'll save your progress. That's actually a good point. Although I'm not sure what the rules are for this challenge. I think I have to do this in like a single live stream. There's a whole description on this page, but maybe I can break it up. Also, yeah, we do have the puzzle challenge command that will provide more details about how to help our club. XM puzzle challenge. For anyone that does survival mode puzzle rush and who's part of my club on chess.com, you'll help contribute to the overall team score. Unfortunately, there's no way to view our placing until they share the standings, but I appreciate those that join the club and do survival mode today. So, what do we have here? D6. This looks like a very standard opening. Of course, a knight could be a target, and the pawn could be a target. It seems like a question between... I mean, there's two moves that pop out immediately, is knight g5 or bishop takes f7. I mean, I really don't see a defense to knight g5. Bishop f7, of course, is more forcing. But after takes and then knight g5, which also looks good, attacking the king and the knight, there's king g6 defending the knight. So it's really a question, which move order do we want to play? Like this first or this first? I think it's just this first. I don't see a defense. I'm going to go for it. Yeah, now we can take the knight and then take the pawn. I mean, I should take a moment here because there's also this, but... yeah, there's no reason to go into some messy line. And if we take with bishop, which also looks appealing, then the knight's attack, defending the bishop. We have to take here first. And then take the rook. And then take, okay. Went on a little bit longer than expected. I hope that made sense. So moving on, trying to save time here. King f3. White has two queens. There's every single knight move is check, so there's going to be a good amount to look through. This check doesn't work. This check is worth considering. I don't think we'll be playing any quiet moves in these lines. Because these checks are pretty big threats. So I'm calculating silently here. Sometimes a bit more efficient. I don't see anything after queen d3, king g2. Check, king h2. But then where do we move the knight? Knight d4, double check, and then king here. Oh, and then, yeah, then we have some checks. So what if this? Queen f3. If king f1 we mate, king g1 it's also mate. King h2 we check, and then here, and then check. If here it's mate, if here it's also mate. So knight d4, king here, here. Yeah, I looked at every line. I think like it's just mating after queen f3. The king has 4 legal moves, but they all get mated. So the only other branch to look at is king f3. And then we probably have to move the knight to f5 or c2. Wait, so knight d4, king e3, knight f5, king f4. Here, 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 here. And then we play queen d4, sacrificing the knight, and then checkmate. Or king f3 checkmate. But e4 is a mating square. Really? What did I miss? What did I miss? Oh, I missed king f4. And is it not winning? Also, I glanced at chat. I see knight f4 being suggested. Knight f4, yeah, because e4 is a mating square. This one is like just mate in 3, I think. Like knight f4 is a solution, check, and then mate. Oh, that's sad. I went down the wrong rabbit hole, and then I convinced myself. Can we analyze? Yeah, they call that the dovetail mate. So, just to show this move I wanted to play, I looked at this, I looked at this, I concluded both lines were winning. I missed this. And white's surviving, I guess. Like the king's running to e5. It just slips away. I'll check with the engine just to make sure. Wait, king g2. Was there a line I didn't see here? King g1 here? Oh, I only looked at king h2. I discarded king f1 because it's made in the other line. Yeah, I missed a lot of things in this variation. Also, thank you, Valio Kevi T. Appreciate the first time sub. Okay, yeah, I went through that one too quickly. Well, 2 strikes. 3 strikes and I'm out. I need 12 more. This is the next one. Pressure's on. I mean, I went into this challenge thinking that I don't have any lives. So it's as if I'm in the same spot I thought I was a few puzzles ago. Thank you, Zuko. Another first time sub with Prime. Appreciate it. Okay, there's 5 different things I can take. So what to do? I mean, if I can safely recapture, black is up a piece. But recapturing or capturing the queen first doesn't work, I don't think. If I capture the rook first. So what's the difference between taking here first or taking here first? If I take here first, queen takes, take, take, rook e1, bishop e5, f4. And white is probably surviving there. But if we take the knight first, then take, 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 take. White doesn't have the same idea with rook e1 because the queen's on e1. I mean, it's probably just taking the knight that, I mean, white moved there. Man. And this problem is more about identifying like the ideas for white and avoiding whatever pitfall there might be. It's either this or this. And I found one reason to probably reject takes. Because takes and then take and yeah, rook e1 f4. I think we just take the knight. It's so weird that white just plays this move, allows taking. Let's go for it. Again, we just take. And then just take. Okay. I'm just taking free material there. But in order to get that one right, you had to see white's idea to eliminate one of the moves. Okay, this one is probably some quiet move, like rook d5. But then there's rook b8 and then king h7. If we play this, we're subjecting ourselves to checks. If we play this, we're not actually threatening this. We also have these checks. It would be so cruel if this problem is just perpetual. If like this is the only way to draw. I'm pretty sure it's to play for win. Rook here. I mean, I'm going to spend like a minute looking here, but if I don't find any defense for white, I'll just play this. Like rook, I guess there's rook b8, king here, rook h8, take, queen b7, king goes back. Yeah, I mean, white's still not preventing that. Also with bishop g5, we just take. King can't move. There's no queen d1.
Hey guys, I'm Rosen Geo.
Hey guys, thank you, Aboba. I'm gonna do this. Yeah, and then just take. Oh no. What did I miss? Oh, I missed queen g5. Arrgh. I made an assumption. It has to be queen h5 first. And then take. Ah. I should have realized that like both moves look winning and then have to eliminate one. Oh, that's so sad. What to do? I got to 60. Yeah, I mean, the problems get pretty tough, like when you climb high 50s and then into 60. I can try again, though. It could take a while. I could try and just speed through the first several. Thank you, Uber Nostrum. Gifting 5. I appreciate that. I'll take a small break. I have to go in like less than half hour. But I'll see how far I can get. It's good to know I have a few strikes for leeway. I hope people still like enjoy watching this content. I don't do such content so often with like slowly working through puzzles. Clearly I have some improvements to make for my own solving end. Yeah, I'll definitely put the VOD on YouTube. So if people are watching in the future on YouTube, let me know your thoughts on this sort of content. People sharing their thoughts in Twitch chat as well. Oh, we have a hype train too. Yeah, friendly reminder, if you have Prime, you can sub for free. maybe try and advance to the next level of the hype train. But I'm going to take a small break and I'll be back in a moment and try and speedrun the survival mode. Well, here we go again. This is going to be faster paced than before, just because I'm on a time crunch. Thank you, that Chi-Town dude. So, let's keep going here. I could treat this like a 3-minute puzzle rush. A lot of these, mates in one. Still going to be careful. Like this one, yeah, the first move that came to mind was rook d2, but it's bishop c5. Worst mates. Yeah, b1 is off limits, but a1. Yeah, f2, f7. So just trying to speed run the easy puzzles. This is a fork. King g6, we take the knight and then take. Okay, probably a matter of taking queen here and then king here. Knight d5 doesn't work. We're threatening this. And then take. This is mate in 2. A lot of go-to checkmates. That was Laclede's mate. This one is made in a few. G3 will be checkmate. This one is probably a matter of winning material. Rook takes, and then takes, and we're not getting mated. And if takes, we take the rook on a8. Go for this move. That's mate in 3. Okay, really just trying to zoom through to get to the more difficult ones, but also trying to stay clean. Hopefully there's no hiccups. Queen here. Knight f5 looks pretty winning. Always have to look out for the counterplay. Black will run out of checks. Meanwhile, yeah, we're just mating. This is a classic mating pattern. Oh no, my queen. Check, and then, yeah. Queen d8. Black has everything on the starting squares, missing a couple pawns. And it's probably queen h5, g6, queen e5. Basically trapping the rook, because knight f6 we take. Yeah, that was a weird one. Or just weird position. This one. I mean, the obvious move is this. But there's also knight here first. So what's the difference? Like, I'm thinking we play this first. If bishop takes, we take with... No, we can't take with queen. What am I thinking? I was thinking we mate, but then there's king h2. No, we have to play this first and then rook e1. And then we just take and then this and then... We're either mating or winning the queen. Yeah. This is mate. I was calculating king e1, but then, yeah, knight controls that square. Meanwhile, mate on h-file. This one is probably h4 threatening mate. Nice pattern. King f5 doesn't help. Okay, let's mate. Let's mate in 2. Queen h3. There's one check and then king g3. Maybe there's a few checks. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Queen h3 here, probably knight e2. Because king g3, there'd be takes with check and then queen g7. Yeah, I like queen h3. This one's really close to mate. It's a question which pawn move to choose. I'm thinking it's h5. Force king f6 and then take and then use the f file. Actually, like I didn't really calculate further, but intuitively it looks good. But is there mate? Bishop f4, there's d4, knight f7. It's probably not knight f7, even though white wins material. I guess it could be. What is this? It might be knight f7. Like we just win the exchange. Our knight's attacked and like d4. It's not working. d4 take here. King c4. I mean, this is like, it's just winning for white, I think. It's not the most climactic finish. I want to analyze that one. I know I said I wanted to go quickly, but I just want to check with the engine. Like, was there nothing better instead of knight of 7? Like d4 is just much worse for white. Yeah, because we don't have the fork and we're not mating. Okay. Yeah, that was a tricky one. This one, I think we just win material, take, and then take, and then take. This one looks like mate in 3. Bishop g7 end. This is mate in 2. I mean, I have to go in like 15 minutes, so at some point I'm going to be guessing, but we'll see how far I can get. Knight a4. Knight a5. Oh, what is this? Also, this move. I really don't want to be guessing on this one, but oh, what are my options? Oh, maybe just bishop g4. And then we have the threat of either knight e5 or like if rook g1 we take, and then fork. Yeah, it's probably bishop g4. And bishop h5. We can't take first because our rook's attacked. It keeps going though, probably this. Okay. That was a tricky one. Queen h5, mate in 2. Okay. Yeah, which thing to take with? I mean, probably take with pawn. Taking with queen just seems too slow. Let's take with pawn. Okay. Thank you, DeSera. Appreciate the 19 months. Okay, this is also forced mate, it looks like. Wait, check, here, check. It's like made in 4 or 5. Here, this is a classic one. Just take and then fork. Okay, so white's threatening mate, so we probably have to check. I mean, this is... Oh, this is not the only check. There's rookie 1 check followed by this and then mate. A bit of clearance there. Okay, this is a threat. We take and then get forked. I think in the end we win the rook. That should be fine. Okay. Take on e3. There's also this move, so white's threatening this. I mean, let's calculate. Take. King g4. King g4 might be playable. And then, oh, king g4, knight h6. So take, take, take. Oh, again, knight h6. I mean, we might be mating, but we're also just winning the queen. So there's this and this. This is obviously just winning the queen. This, maybe white's surviving after king h5. Let's win the queen. Cool. I mean, we have to take the bishop. e3 doesn't make any sense. Now it's a question, do we take or defend? We probably defend. If takes, then yeah, we're not winning. And if here takes, we probably keep the pawn defended and then win the king pawn ending. En passant. Okay, so there's a few different checks. Rook f4. Doesn't appear to work. g5 or queen h2. Intuitively, queen h2 makes the most sense, but I feel like we have to rely on some concrete calculation. Oh, g5 is not legal. Okay. Well, that makes life easier. Oh, there's also queen e4. Wait, queen e4, g4, and then we take on h2. Otherwise, we take the knight. I think it's queen e4, actually. Not the first move that came to mind. Then we have to take h6. Just try and calculate. Okay. I'm going to have to take here. And then what? We have discoveries, but there's queen takes e4. Oh, we have this move. And then mate. Okay, 52. I've been here before. What is this one? Oh, it's probably a skewer because it's pinned. Has to be this. Probably just take and survive. I mean, no moves are immediately popping out at me. Maybe c2 just to promote. Actually looks like the most logical. Unless there's some weird like defense we need to do. So what does white want to do? Maybe check. And where does the king go? So c2 check. Trying to figure out this line, because if we play here, there's check. And we take and then check, and black's not winning. So c2, h6. king g8. Maybe king g8, check here, and then queen. Oh, but then queen takes g6. Ay. Ay, ay, ay. I don't really see another critical line, but I also don't see a line to deal with this. Maybe king here, and then here. Maybe that's the way to go. Let's go for it. So this is process of elimination. There's also king h8, check. But this doesn't work because here, and then queen d4 is a threat for mate. King g8 also I looked at. King f8 doesn't seem to work because of rook e8. This doesn't work because rook h5. King f7. So I have to choose between these two moves, it looks like. Thank you, J Strugs. I'm getting merch. Money. Oh, yes, your merch. Okay, so if I play this or this, there's rook f5. What can be the difference? It feels like the lines transpose. With this, there's queen f4. That's made instantly. So I think king f7, process of elimination, only move. And then if I take the rook, white takes turns of other rooks. So I have to play this or this. This intuitively looks safer. We're on the dark square. King e6. Oh, king e6, there's takes. Yeah, king e7. Oh, there's also, no, knight f6 doesn't work. We have to defend the queen. Ay, ay, ay. What did I miss? So c2, this was fine. I rejected this because of this. What did I miss? If I take the rook, then take, then queen, and then take. Oh, the queen is pinned. I rejected this because of this, but queen takes g6 is not legal. I didn't see the whole board. I was just focusing in this area. Forgot about white's king. And then I mean, I still would have had to figure it out from here. Take the rook. It's still really tricky, actually. Maybe I queen. No, not queen first, because takes. I don't know how much time I want to spend with this. Maybe it's take here. A super tricky puzzle. Yeah, I actually don't know what the move is here. This would have taken me a long time to figure out. I could guess, like, probably either taking the rook. Because this is now a threat. If we take, then here, and then there. Let's try this. No. So it's taking with a pawn and then queening. Because queen g6 and knight f6. Okay. Okay. Well, I got one wrong. I do have to go. It's dinner time. There's a user that sometimes watches, a subscriber with a name, it's dinner time, baby. So that's basically my life right now. Chess will have to take a pause. When I come back, maybe I'll try and finish this. I think there's a chance I won't come back tonight, and I'll I'll just try and get sleep for tomorrow. I do appreciate everyone tuning in. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Time, there is the puzzle. I think they're calling it the Puzzle World Championship. It'll feature 3-minute puzzle rush. I think a lot of other streamers are competing. I think it's only streamers competing tomorrow. It's a qualifier for the knockout round. So yeah, I'll try and be fresh for that. Hopefully this was a good warm up. Today is day one of the Puzzle World Championship. There will be 30 minutes to achieve the highest score possible in 3-minute rush, and the top 20 players move on. So hopefully I can finish in the top 20. But I'm looking at the Zoom call. There's a lot of grandmasters, a lot of like puzzle specialists too. See, Andrew Tang is here. Some names I don't recognize. Will you win? It's a great question. We'll find out soon. So I think what I'll do is warm up. I do have the timer above me, so when the actual competition starts, the time will start ticking, and then I probably will like remove the microphone from my face and then just be silent the whole time. But hopefully this will be interesting content. I've been doing a lot of puzzles this week. There's been various challenges for Puzzle Week. This is the official Puzzle World Championship, yes. I don't know if it's Puzzle Rush World Championship, Puzzle Battle, Chess Puzzle. I should know the name. I think they're just calling it Puzzles World Championship. So let me do a warm up run. I might be slightly distracted because the Zoom call people are talking or they don't have their audio muted. So let's just carry through. How's the sound on the stream, by the way? I usually put this down a little bit. Okay. Oh my, yeah. I mouse slipped promoting to a knight. How did that happen? Also, thank you, Gret Pierre. Appreciate the sub. Hmm. Okay. Well, that was my warm up run. Got 43. I mean, honestly, if I want to advance with the top 20 or finish in the top 20, I probably need to score at least like 47, 48. I think that's the target score. Um, I did score 47 yesterday off stream. That was my best score. But I have to do it within the 30-minute window. Okay, we can see the hourly scores here. So yeah, maybe like 46 would cut it. Anyway, this will start in about 10 minutes. I'm going to take a brief moment just to read whatever discussion there is in the Zoom chat. Yeah, I'm on a Zoom call for, I think it's just for like more clear communication. It's not going to be part of the broadcast. Okay, how is 100 plus possible? Yeah, if we look at the all-time scores, the all-time score is 144. Someone was using a bot. I guess they don't really do too much anti-cheating on this, at least on this leaderboard. This score is legit though from Ray Robson. There was a time where there was some bugs where it would give you like the same puzzles in consecutive runs. I'm pretty sure they fixed that though. So it's possible like these scores like 80, 79, 78, it's possible those were achieved back when there was the bug with the puzzles. Not sure though. Or it's possible they're legit, but yeah, who knows? The main focus will be on the hourly leaderboard. Or actually I do have a standings page. I don't think I'll be leaking anything. So these are the standings. Yeah, I mean, there's Hikaru, Bortnik, Ray Robson, who's probably the favorite to win the whole thing, a four-time reigning champion. Got Hans, V Pranav. I mean, a lot of like kind of the usual top names on chess.com. Jimis also is is probably one of the favorites, even though he's an FM. Yeah, I don't know what order this is in. Maybe based on chess.com blitz rating? Although, no, probably not. I'm pretty far down, which maybe isn't a great thing, but 55. So I need to finish top 20. Periodically, I can show this page to share live standings. Let's do one more warm up. This will probably be my last warm up before everything begins. Thank you, Tanuki Queen. Okay. Well, that was my final run. Is it Queen A3? It's Queen A3 and the Rook A2, Rook C1. Okay. So, this is gonna be a quieter stream than usual. I'm gonna not have my mic while I do it for 30 minutes straight. Thanks everyone for the hype train. Oh, Tanuki Queen also asking how do you utilize text to speech. Yeah, it's off right now. We do have the TTS command, which we usually say the accurate status. Oh yeah, let me put on my heart rate monitor. That's a good idea. I was just charging my watch. Thank you, that Chi-Town dude. Appreciate the bits. Have to breathe. I feel like my heart rate's gonna be over 100. Probably a lot during the next half hour. But we'll see. Hopefully I can stay calm. Sometimes the brain works best when everything is calm. Yeah, the poker tournament heart rate was insane. Like I don't think I've ever experienced that where like my heart rate was over 120 for hours on end. I have not released my poker VOD yet. It's yeah, I'm not sure if I'll release it on the extra channel or maybe the main channel. I mean, it's over 10 hours, and I kind of want to do a highlight reel, but it hasn't been high priority. It'd be nice to release at some point though. Oh, what was the move? Yeah, the move was Queen A3. Queen A3, King here. There's this checkmate, and then if Rook here, then Rook C1 take and checkmate. Queen A4. I guess Queen A4. Why does Queen A4 not work? King B2. No, it's still checkmate though. King B1. Queen A4, King B1. Then we would have to repeat. So it's still winning. It's just not efficient. Thank you, Tanuki Queen. Okay, it should be starting any minute now. Thank you, Hot Elk. Appreciate the bits. Oh no, my heart rates. Okay, we broke 100. I broke 100. It was bound to happen. Oh, the suspense. I'm just staring at the timer, waiting for it to start ticking. Okay, I'm starting. Bye. Okay. I don't think I made it. I think I had 45 as my best. Um oh man. These are the standings. Yeah, to advance I would have needed to score 54, right? Wait, how do I read this? Yeah, I'm not close to top 20. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for watching. Maybe I could have done better on one of the 45 runs. I had like 45 seconds left with maybe 44 or something. Yeah, yesterday I got like 60, but that was survival mode and it took over an hour. So that's not easy. Ah, I just heard in the Zoom call I could have started one more round and then I could have finished it after the time went up. I didn't realize that. What to do? I probably would not have broken whatever the score needed is 54. So, um yeah, I hope people enjoyed. Thanks everyone for supporting. Oh, thank you Witty Alien for the raid too. That was 12 minutes ago. If you're joining from Witty Alien stream, this is not the typical type of stream that I do with really no talking during play. I did play the Alien Gambit in Title Tuesday a few days ago. It didn't go so well, so I'm due for some redemption. Okay, Danny is. Oh, is there an official broadcast for this? Let's see. I imagine, yeah, sometimes in previous years they've had like an official broadcast where they kind of switch between streams. Oh, I'm in the stream title of the official broadcast. That's funny. Ha ha ha. Look at this. Who will solve them fastest? Hikaru, Bach, Rosen, and Hans and company. Did they include me in the title for clickbait? I think I'm happy to have my name as clickbait. It's a sign that I've made it. Okay, so anyway, let's send the raid to the official broadcast. And send some good energy. This was just the first round of I think 4 or 5 today. So now people can hopefully watch some even stronger puzzle solvers.